All right, there. That work? Okay, does that work? I set it in ultra low latency. It says it's for folks. Here, well, I could show you. Right there. Whoops, this mouse. I need a new mouse. You can type and send something in Discord and see how long it takes to, like, register. That's good. Look at that. I mean, is this working? Was the ultra low latency like better or? Hold on. Is that up and running? Let's see. There. I gotta go. It's not even showing up yet on the Discord. Or on mine. And nothing. Oh, there we go. That's the, I don't have to have this one up. So I have it over here. Does it work? If I can show up on the, trying to see if the, like, oh, there it is. I think it's like way behind. There. Yep. 8 seconds. That's ridiculous. So it's pretty far behind. No voice? What? How about now? Does that work? Oh, it says it's working. You're not getting any audio through YouTube. Yeah, I saw that. I can, yeah. Oh, so he says it's clear. Okay, cool. So it works. Either one. I mean, like, I like the Discord a little bit better, but I wanted to see if I could get it working to do, because I think YouTube will let more people in. Like Discord was like limiting to like 10 people, and I think that was a big turnoff. I think I can actually put just do this. Or wait, no, I have to use a different. I was thinking like how to get the chat up next to so that the chat could be up there in the stream. I'm not sure. Tools. That work? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to work on that. I just want to see if I can get to live stream and see what the latency was. I think Discord was pretty good. It is? There, try that one. I just grabbed the link. Well, I don't know why I'm talking. I know, I'll try to consolidate it all together, but no, that's multi-charts. This one. This is multi-charts, and they have a pretty decent footprint chart. Let's see, I think I'm gonna have to do it over here, huh? I have it set up so it's always centered right on the price, and then it sort of like gives you some room. Because I think that's really like irritating to track the movement. It'll like run off the screen or just be hammered down or something. I stuck it right in the middle. I actually don't usually like looking at charts like this, but I needed to see if it like swept up or swept down or something like that. Otherwise, I usually will like zoom in and out a little. I'll have two charts, one zoomed out, one that looks at the footprint. But it was for the stream, so you could see the sweeps. So this works. I think I'm going to do live streams through YouTube like this so that more people can access it. I think there's a little bit more delay, but a second or two delay is not a huge deal. And then I can just automatically have them saved on the server side. And then everyone can just review them later. Need to figure out how to get the chat into the... Well, actually, you know what? That's not true. Because the chat... Maybe we should just use the YouTube chat. I don't know if you can put snapshots of like things in there though. Because the YouTube chat will like sync up to the video, which is nice. But yeah, I think today was interesting. The morning started a little slow. But I think that what ended up happening was the expiration after the bearishness in the market was like aggressive. Just a lot of people taking a lot of stuff. Hey. Maybe I don't really need headphones on. So you can see that this morning, it's not gonna. That's not gonna show up? I don't know if you get used to this. We had the bulls right here. You see that? And then the bears. And I posted this on Twitter, a chart that just sort of circled where I thought they were. And then we had a decay retest show up, liquidated, and then that huge decay retest at 60 show up around here, and that got hit too. I think it was just excitement over, well, not excitement. I think there's a lot of things that came in from the options expiration. But I saw interest right here. Portfolios started coming in at a little bit lower prices from where that they were filling last time. So I think what's going to be important Monday is this. Like, is tension going to get to zero? Will the bulls be able to pick it up on Monday? So this is going to be like my entire focus on Monday morning, trying to see if this, I anticipate, and this is just, I'm anticipating the market to sort of gap up and to try and open tension around where it's at, maybe a little lower, a little higher, and then see if the market can sample bulls again, probably something like that, and then see if they can keep this above. I think that was the goal today, but it just fell apart. So we had Trump doing like news events all afternoon and then expiration. So that's kind of like, that's what I'll be looking at on Monday. See if the bulls can pick this up and drive it. Something else I noticed was that if you look on here, we did this like, it's almost like it's slowed down. We almost got to that 5% limit, and then we got upside. We almost got to the 5% limit. And then today the market came down and actually got there. And I thought, if you push this down, you wouldn't be able to get through there this time. But during the day here, you could get through to lower prices there. It's like the market would stop you. So just thinking out loud, like if somebody put in an order for a large order down here, you weren't capable of getting there until later. And I thought that was sort of interesting. I was watching that. Okay. See if my network can handle that. Let's see what happens. Wait. Yeah. There. Does it work? If I go, I'm going to guess that YouTube lags a bunch from that. But you have to tell me if how it looks to you. I could see myself still talking in the live. I'm not surprised. I'm streaming 2 4K videos. I'm not surprised my network hates me. Yeah. I think I like YouTube because it'll save it. With the chat, and it'll automatically save it to YouTube for review for later. And I think I like that. It's just getting it to work in a useful way. I think YouTube looks a little bit better to me. So yeah, I was thinking about doing, I don't know if you guys would be interested if I went over some basic like coding stuff for ThinkScript. Kind of what I was thinking about doing. YouTube, you like YouTube better? Or I just like the accessibility of YouTube. It seems like it's just easier to get at. I did say code. Yeah, well, I think if you're just gonna chat and stuff, just send words to the live chat. I don't know if you can send a image. I'm gonna guess you can't because I don't see any like upload an image. So if you want to share like a chart or something, you'll have to share it to Discord and then I can put it up on the stream. Otherwise, I don't think you can do an image. Yeah, no image, which is a bummer. Well, let's take a look here. Probably open this up. We could do a couple minutes, do a little coding. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Traders, that's what we want to say. Okay. There we go. Maybe somebody else wants to come in. All right, so like, let me bring up a chart. Here's one that I've been tinkering with recently. I always have a chart up, like something I was messing with. This is just the awesome oscillator. Joe was using it, so I figured I'd tinker with it. If you have like a request about something to code, let me know. I don't even know how to do that. And then people can be all like, I'm loud. Oh yeah, super chat. I don't know how to, I haven't done that. I think they request things. Like I looked at it and you have to like be approved for that kind of stuff. YouTube's like, hey, you're not special enough. You can't do it. I'm sure it's somewhere in here. Super chat or something. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll try. I want to do this more often. I think this will be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. Have you like set that up before? Do you know how to set it up? I haven't. I saw that Streamlabs was in there, and Streamlabs does a little bit better job with donations and stuff. But I don't care either way. So requests. If we're gonna do a little coding. Oh, just the widgets off of it. Well, I'll look into it. Oh, so you have done it? That's good. Maybe I'll look into getting it set up. I just want to see what kind of latency I was getting from YouTube, which seems to be like 2 seconds or something. So oh, an SMA crossover code with sound alerts. Okay, yeah, that's a legitimate request. All right. So the first thing is initialize the code. I always open a new one. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, so you initialize the code here so that when you click like go, it'll go. So there's a couple ways. Sorry, I was looking away. Did he? Right. I'll have to remember. There's a couple of ways to deal with moving averages. You can use their functions. So if I want to define an SMA, I can use their moving average function. I could use this. Something like that. So you get their, oh, did I get this wrong? I did. I don't usually type up moving averages this way, but so you can do this like moving average function, and then you can tell it which type you want to do. What's useful about that is you can input the average type. Like this. So then you can select it from your settings, which is, I think, pretty useful. So let me scoot all this out. And for me, I try not to do too many inputs, because I typically have an objective when I type out a code, and putting lots of inputs, I don't know. But so you go like that, and then that puts those in here. And I think this is really useful when you're initially tinkering. If you're like trying to figure out things, having lots of inputs allows you to sit and switch through stuff. So there's this type. The other type, which is the one that I tend to use, is using summations and like coefficients. So you have something like this, the total sum of the data, and then we get the average this way. We say sum minus get value of the length. Oops. Divided by that. And I prefer to do this because this is more, this kind of code tends to break less, like having weird things where when you use their actual moving average function, a lot of times they'll break and you'll be like, why isn't it plotting? And it's just they should be the same. Let's see how good I am at math. It should just be one line. So those are the two ways I do it. One of them is using their internal function. One of them is writing out the actual math, and I prefer typing out the math because it's more rigid and it doesn't break as much. And that's how I'll type out those two. Maybe that's too much, but there's that. So then we can do this. Oh, my computer just had a seizure. ThinkOrSwim just got really mad at me. And then we can do the second SMA too. Okay, so that's how we get the two lengths. And then to do your alerts and stuff, alerts aren't something I always use with. Huh? It's up to you. I don't know. I type AVE sometimes and AVG. I think it's just how fast I'm trying to go. But I totally understand. Their alert systems, I think, are right here. So I've noticed a lot of times they'll call other for a lot of the things that you're like, oh, that's interesting, and you can't find it. So then I can just do this. Is that right? I never use alerts. I'm not sure that that's going to work. I know where I can go. I'm pretty sure there's a zigzag. The zigzag has an alert function in it, right? Oh, it's assert. It's not the right one. Whoops. All right, there's our trigger, and I'll apply it and save it. Okay, now we can tinker with the alerts. I think what happens is the way they have it set up, you run the assert function. Let me try. Is that how they're getting that in there? Dynamic value not initialized for assert. Been such a long time since I used one of these. Okay. Okay, so it does accept two. They're liars. All right, let's just do alert then. Sound, I think bell is one of them. Yep. So you can see right here why I was doing that. It's because usually they show right here that it accepts two parameters, and this one shows just the one. So I was like, what? But yeah, it's just two. Okay. And then let me see if we can get it to go ding. And my computer is I keep getting the ThinkOrSwim is mad at you alert. So it's just loading. I have too much stuff going. Yeah, see, I keep getting this message. Which happens when you try and code during high volatility. The platform just fails. So there we go. That should actually work. And that's all you do. Well, you could even cut this down. I don't like short code. Like, for me, typing out a code in 3 lines isn't good coding. But you could do it like this so that it's just like a couple lines. A little versatility, a couple lines, and that'll get the job done. Is that what you're talking about? I'm gonna have to work on my format for going through like coding videos, because I think it is probably a really dry, boring topic for a majority of people, unless you have a specific question. I think it's just not going to initialize even because my platform has taken a crap. Let's see, maybe it kicked me offline. Sometimes it'll do that. Nope, I'm still on. Well, that's how you type it out. That would totally work. You couldn't get the sound? Can you hear me? Is it working now? Oh, the sound? Oh, is that what you wanted to know, how to use an alert? sometimes ThinkOrSwim, just as like a note, like a rule of thumb, if you say, like, define a condition like this, which is the SMA crosses, I found that every once in a while ThinkOrSwim will make you do this. For whatever reason, when it's binary and you put in an alert, if you can't get the alert to trigger, just add is true. For some reason, that will fix it. Yeah, well, I can show you what it does. When you get that message, if you want, you can come and do this. I do it sometimes. You come to your ThinkOrSwim report, and is it the dump file? No, it's log. Yeah, you could come into your logs and look at what triggered it, but there is here it is, the performance. So if you come into your performance file you can just type in ThinkOrSwim and find it in their file there. You can look at your so this is your CPU usage. It says CPU. And you can track how it's been working. So you can run a code and see how it changes over time. And then this is your graphics right here. And how much the painting, so what your plots are doing to your, so you can see I have 31, I had 62. This is what threw the trigger right here. You see this 81%, 73%, 62. So this is what's causing that to trigger. And it's not because the code, it's because the market was super volatile and it gets jammed up like this. And then you can see this is over 50%. It throws a little asterisk. So you can sort of track your performance in here, which I'll do with the codes that I write to try and get them to perform a little bit better, to make sure I'm not writing in things that eat up that. But that's a little trick. I don't know if that matters, but that's why it's throwing that to you. It's gone over a threshold there for performance. I think it's annoying. But yeah, it's part of the platform. It's free, so it should be that each time this crosses, you get the alert. ThinkOrSwim doesn't seem to have like a volume to it, so if you have your computer running, it like gets me every time. It's like bing, and my adrenaline will go because it'll be super loud in your headphones. I don't know why they did that. It's way too loud. It's not a gentle set of noises. The other trick that you can do to save your computer is to write a script. Let's just do that. And the reason is because when your computer goes to like write this all out, let me go like this. Then I go, well, actually, I should just go like this. Hey, why aren't you accepting myself? Oh, I know why. They're not lined up. And ThinkOrSwim scripting is pretty good. So there we go. So it'll take this, it'll pass it to here, which passes it to here, which then passes it to there, and then it'll output to right there. And it's a little messy that way, but what ThinkOrSwim does is called deferred processing. And what that means is it takes all of your work, so everything from here, and it puts it goes to whatever line you have that says plot, and it tries to calculate all the plots at the same time. So in this instance right here, if I use the moving averages, it'll calculate 2 moving averages. It'll try to do it at the same time if it can. But with a script, it forces the code to run down, calculate this one, clear the dump, and then do this go back up, calculate it again, and then output everything. So it's a little bit better in terms of like running things in sequence. So I'll use scripts whenever I have sequential issues or it's too complicated. A script will help the computer think through it a little bbit faster, and your load times will come down. If you've noticed, some of my codes take a little while to load. I've had to like figure out how to get your load times to speed up. ThinkOrSwim is a beast when it comes to load times. So that should work. That's a little trick to help your load times. Just use a script and then just pass your variables in. That'll help. And then if you're just going to do the alert and you're going to script, you could just do this, because it's going to take the same amount of processing time anyways. And then I can get rid of the plots. Because I'm using a script, this will take about the same amount of processing as the other way. And then you can have it run in the background. But you probably might want to look at your SMA. So that's probably how I'd write this one, is like this. This is likely how I'd have it. And then that's it. Then I would do some notes. I'm not great at notes. I know, every coder that tells me take notes, I'm like, notes are no fun. Anything else? You guys have any questions? This is sort of just my test, like, and I think Diddy Kong picked up on that. This is just my test to show, try and make it happen once, and we'll do some more complicated stuff in the future. I didn't really cover like everything. I don't know. It sounds like, Diddy, you've used the scripting a couple times. But there's a lot of people who will need a little bit more attention to get through. So that's that. I'll do more of this later on. Some more coding. Maybe I'll do like some lessons or something I can live stream and they'll save that people can reference them later. So that's that. Anybody have any other requests besides that? I could go over how to do. Awesome. Sounds like everyone's happy. Oh, how to pull data in. Show ya. So you can't. Well, you can. I'm gonna not do it the complicated way. So you can have it so you can select the data, but I'm not going to do that unless that's really important to you. But like this. There you go. So it'll take this and apply it to this data here. So I should get it out of the input fields. Right there. And it'll pass this data and write over the close, so that this will do that. So you just have to type in, and then I did it as an input because then you can pick your whatever you want right there. And if you're wanting to know, if you click on here, they've like changed their documentation. That is so annoying. I swear they used to have this set out correctly. Oh well. So the way it works is you have like this. So you can do symbol. Do price type, but that doesn't work. They like disabled it. Your aggregation or your period. Like day or something like that. You can shorthand it like this, which is a little easier to type. And then you do price type like bid, ask, last, or mark, but they disabled the bid, ask, last, or mark. Yeah. And then it should work. So I should be able to, whoops. If I took this it should show up as totally crazy because it should be Apple's data. There you go. So it's Apple's data. 273. That looks like Apple. They're at 2, yeah. So it pulled it in. You can check to see that. Always check your variables. I didn't in this one, but if it's more complicated than that, I plot everything all the time just to make sure I'm getting actually what I wanted to get. All right, so that's how you do that. If you guys, I'll post to like do some videos. I think I'm gonna try and do this a little bit more regularly during the weekends. I think it'd be useful next week since we're all gonna be stuck at home, quarantined. So until then, see you guys later. It's a good week.